Good morning, students. In the last class, we have discussed the various functions which are performed by operating system. And these functions were processor management, memory management, file management, device management, security and protection, enforcement of priority system, provision of user interface, and job control management. We have already discussed about these in our previous class. Now, thereafter, we have stated that there are various operating systems. Now, today we'll discuss these various operating systems, the different kinds of operating system in detail. The first is a single user operating system. It is the initial version of the operating system that comes only one user, that allows only one user to work with a computer at a time. That is, in the beginning, when the computer comes in, say, the picture, in existence, rather, I say, the first operating system was DOS, MS DOS, also called as Microsoft Disk Operating System. It was an 8-bit operating system and it allowed only one user to interact, and all the interaction to the computer is with the help of commands, by typing commands and English like language commands. Now the next is multi-user operating system. As the name indicates, here more than one user can use the computer at the same time or at a different time, right? So that is, on one single computer, though they have two different, say, the input and the output units, but for the processing they are using the resources, or say the hardware of the CPU, or we can say the CPU as one single CPU they are using, and operating system is also one, right? So that is called as multi-user operating system. So that is, it says they're using the computer at the same time or at the different time, and the examples of such operating system are Windows, Linux, and Unix. The next is multi-processor operating system. It consists of several processors that share a common physical memory. It provides higher computing power and speed that allows the user to run and work in multiple applications at the same time. Windows NT, Solaris, Digital Unix, OS/2, and the Linux are the examples of such operating system. Here it is. In one, say, we can say a CPU, there is more than one processor. There are several processors are there, and there is a common operating system which control the functioning of all these operating systems, of all these all these processors, right? Next is multitasking operating system. Multitasking operating system provides the interface for executing the multiple program task by single user at a time, at the same time, on one computer system. I'll read again. The multitask operating system provides the interface for executing the multiple program tasks by a single user at the same time on the one computer. For example, an editing task can be performed so as on one system at one point of time. We are working in some software, we are doing our say working in Word, and we are even listening the music. So that is what is a multitasking. More than two tasks are running simultaneously on a system. So the examples are Windows XP, almost all Windows versions, Windows XP, Vista 7, 8, 10, 2000, IBM OS 390, Linux, Unix, all these operating systems supports multitasking. Now the next is multi-threading operating system. The multi-threading operating system allow different part of a software program to run simultaneously. The examples of such operating systems are Windows 2000, Windows NT, Unix, and Linux. That is, the here now this concept is no more in use because at times it causes a delay. So this methodology of operating system was discarded. Right. Next is real-time operating system. These type of operating system serves the real-time system. That is, the time interval required to process and respond to an input is very small. That means that is when we give a command to do a certain task and the action is performed, there is no time lag between the two. So that is called as the real time. This time interval is called as the response time. That is the time taken, or say the time between the command given and the action taken. So the real time systems are used when there are time requirements are very strict, like missile system, air traffic control system, robots, etc. Now here the time plays a very important role. That is, we have given the command and the action is taken for that command. So these systems are based on real-time operating system. Now real-time operating systems are of two types: hard real-time system and soft real-time system. The hard real-time operating systems are meant for applications where the time constraints are very strict and even the shortest possible delay is not acceptable. These systems are built for saving life, like automatic parachutes, airbags. Say take an example of airbags in the cars. So nowadays with the car, as if there is a delay in time, there is no use of the airbag. So which required to be readily available in the case of any accident. Now, so virtual memory is almost never found in these systems. So no lag. As soon as a command is given, an input is given, an action to be done. The next is the soft real-time systems. These operating systems for applications where for the time constraint is less strict, though it is again a real time, but okay, fine, a bit of time delay is acceptable, right? So these are of two kinds: hard real time operating system and the soft real time operating system. An example we can say a soft real time operating system is, we can say, even your online ticket booking. So here, even if there is a delay when you book the ticket and this, okay, fine, it is acceptable, right? So it's an example of soft real time operating system. Last is, it runs on a set of computers, that is a distributed operating system. It runs on a set of computers that are located in a different geographical location, interconnected by a network. So here the various computers are located at different places and there is a common operating system. They are connected to the network, and by that operating system, it's controlling all the computers which are connected on that network. So that is what is a distributed operating system. So here the work is get assigned to different operating systems and it will get the consolidated work at one place, right? Now, the next topic is user interface that we'll discuss in the next class.